Firstly, I was really confused when a Chinese automaker invited me to test drive their cars in Japan, and I don't even have an international driving permit. But after spending an entire day at the famous Tsukuba circuit, I started to understand their intention. Since the Prius hit the market in 1997, Japanese cars have been the front-runner in hybrid technology. Toyota Hybrid System was the world's first glimpse into the power of hybrid, and Honda's iMMD unleashed even more potential with a simpler mechanical layout. But as we step into a new era, China's hybrid technology began catching up, bringing us lots of excellent hybrid systems. And today, Geely aim to showcase the prowess of their latent power right here in Japan, home of hybrid cars. Let's find out. I'm Harris, you're watching Matt EV. To test the hybrid system thoroughly, Geely chose the Camry Hybrid as a rival for its sedan, Preface L, and CR-V Hybrid for its SUV, Xingyue L. They set up 3 tests: acceleration endurance test under extreme conditions at the famous Tsukuba circuit, fuel efficiency in everyday scenarios on the iconic touge expressway, and joy of driving on Haruna Mountain, the real-life counterpart of Mount Akina in Initial D. Obviously, we all know why they chose the last location. Who wouldn't want to leave out an Initial D dream? But unfortunately, we who without IDP could only participate in the first test, because technically you don't need a license to drive on the racetrack. But that was more than enough. I didn't tell you guys that I'm a big fan of JDM, so just thinking about driving at Tsukuba circuit was incredibly thrilling. While it may not host Formula 1 races like Suzuka circuit or Fuji Speedway, it became quite well known among car enthusiasts through the game Gran Turismo, Japanese time attack, and various car shows. Back on track, first up, I tested a 2.5-liter hybrid Camry, a vehicle clearly designed for family use and a bit out of place on the circuit. The throttle response was quick, though it seemed to reach its peak too early, and the NVH at high revs was not impressive. The steering was reasonably weighted, but lacked precision and didn't offer much feedback as the angle increased. While its long wheelbase did provide some stability in high-speed corners, the car's limits were reached a bit too soon, and sensitivity near those limits were quite restricted. But I have to say, I didn't get too much out of this drive due to it being too short, the car being a right-hand drive version, and my excitement first time on the track. Moving on to the Preface L, having gotten used to the track and switched to the more familiar left-hand drive, I was able to learn a lot more about the car. In comparison, it appeared better suited for spirit driving. The power output was linear, and thanks to a 3-speed DHT, it had a good amount of power reserved for high speed. In low-speed corners, it managed to get more lateral grip and maintain better agility in steering. Additionally, the more solid braking feel gave me greater confidence when entering corners. My only complaint was about the steering. Although it was precise and responsive to speed increase, the overall feel was a bit too light. This style of tuning seems to be common across many Geely models. Nevertheless, such tuning did not affect the lap times, and the lap times set by Manabu Orido, a renowned Japanese racer and TV host, show the dynamic distinctions of these two. But it's important to note that both cars are just family cars. It does not mean that the Preface L is truly capable of handling a racetrack. Regarding the Xingyue L versus the Honda CR-V, the test schedule prevented me from testing them on the track. According to other media present, the comfort-oriented Xingyue L, though more prone to body roll, outperformed on the track, and the lap time supported this claim. It seems that a robust chassis combined with a well-balanced suspension can effectively balance comfort and handling. Moreover, Geely's hybrid powertrain also demonstrated exceptional efficiency. In a 104 km fuel consumption test on the Touge Expressway, both Geely's cars had better results compared to Toyota's and Honda's. Why does Geely's latent power achieve such a well-balanced performance? To answer this, we have to look into technical differences among the three. Although THS pioneered hybrid technology, its power splitting methodology isn't mainstream. The system uses a dual planetary gear set that better balances the workload between engine and motor. However, the complexity made electronic control and cost management a bit harder, and its overall performance remained highly dependent on the engine's performance. And it's well known that Toyota's engines prioritize thermal efficiency rather than the power itself. This characteristic has led to Toyota hybrids being humorously dubbed as suitable for grocery getting. Honda, with its later introduction of the IMMD system, took a very different approach. A P1 plus P3 architecture and a single-speed directed drive system simplify the mechanics. A more powerful P3 motor helps effectively balance efficiency and performance. However, the single-speed setup, sometimes under specific conditions, hesitates about when to engage the engine, which could compromise its acceleration and fuel efficiency in the middle speed range. And that's when Geely came in. One might even say that Geely's latent power builds on Honda's mechanical framework and incorporates a 3-speed DHT to achieve what THS does. With a wider range of gear ratios, it can decide when to let the engine engage once the vehicle speed exceeds 20 kph, allowing the engine to play a more substantial role when the battery is low. Indeed, the current architecture does have room for improvement. Because the 3-speed DHT is attached behind the motor, in electric-only mode, power still needs to pass through the transmission, resulting in efficiency losses and a lack of smoothness. In 08, which used the latent powertrain, the motor is positioned after the 3-speed DHT, creating a true P1 plus P3 architecture. Although this event was a bit short, it had a significant impact on me. Beyond the thrill of personally being at the Tsukuba circuit, what surprised me the most was the attention Geely received from the Japanese media. They were even wondering when these two cars are coming to the Japanese market. This made me realize that although China may currently have a temporary lead in making EVs, if we truly want to win over consumers from all over the world, especially those in regions with advanced automotive industries, to accept Chinese cars, internal combustion engine still plays a pivotal role. And when Chinese hybrid system became comparable with the inventors, the advantages in cost control and smart software would become more apparent. I just hope that by then, we can have a real free trade.